Hey Tim, so I guess we're probably not going to have time to get our schedules together, so I'm just going to do a quick um, video tutorial for you. So basically, get your Zcam all sort of mounted on whatever you're going to mount it on, and then the one thing that's really important to remember is that they don't ship with SD cards, so you're going to have to purchase your own. I prefer these SanDisk Extreme Pro 95 megabytes per second 128. That's the maximum that you can use right now is the 128. Gets you at least 2 hours of footage if needed, if you're recording the whole time. And then what you do is you run the Ethernet cable, get an Ethernet cable, and you run it to your laptop right here. The next thing you want to do is make sure you download, you go to Zcam, Zcam-com, and go to software updates. And then if you're on a PC, you want to download this one, Zcam PC controller, version 10.34. Go ahead and download that. I already have it installed on my machine. I'm going to go ahead and turn it on. Typically what it does is it buries it all the way down here under Z, and then you have to run it here. While that's running, what I'm going to do is, what Zcam does is it automatically turns on when you power it on. So it literally, like, as I put this cord in here, it will actually start to come on. See, and you'll see red lights first, and then when you get 4 green lights, that means you're good. You hit these 2 tabs on both sides of the lens cap to pull it off. You have a 3/8 thread up here, which you can mount on microphone 2. And then basically what you do is once it's on, when you open up your Zcam controller software, you'll see this S1. You expand it, and then you select your camera. This is the camera that I have. You hit choose, and then you should have a live feed. Now, what happens is sometimes it doesn't get all 4 cameras. So in that situation, what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit action scan cameras again, and we'll give it another try. Okay, now I've got all 4 cameras this time. So that's kind of a known issue. I think it has to do with the Ethernet port. Then it gives you a live preview. You can see my back right now. In this situation, you guys basically just want to mess around with these 3 tabs. The only thing that you need to know really, if you're doing an outdoor situation, is typically I like to shoot at 2.7K per camera because I like to keep the frame rate. Looks like the camera keeps on disconnecting for some weird reason. Could be a bad Ethernet. Let's try. So what I like to do is I keep my resolution at 2.7K because I like to keep the frame rate up to 60. But if you want a higher resolution file, you can go to 4K per camera, but it drops down the frame rate to 30 frames per second. If you guys are doing audio recording, you probably want your frame rate up higher. The other thing too is because you have a live feed, this is a really great opportunity to see if the exposure is correct. All you really need to do is you probably want to limit your ISO. If you're outdoors, limit it to like 400. And then once you see that, usually that's enough to fix your outdoor scene and we can go point towards the window. You see how the window is still blown out there? So just imagine we were outdoors. So what I would typically do is I'll bring my EV value down. You can go to here, EV exposure value, and you can turn it all the way down to 3, but if we turn it down to 2, you can see it starts to bring the details back into the window here. So you just mess around with the settings until you get it to what you like. And let's say let's just say 0. 0 is fine for now, and let's just say under settings, I like it the way it is. Once you close out of here, out of the software, those are the settings that are locked in your camera. Okay, so that's what you've got set in. You can't, if you've got an iPad and a router and access to external power, you can change the settings on set, and I actually do that. I use a little external power box which gives me the ability to power the Zcam with a 5-volt DC connector here, so I don't have to use the Zcam batteries per se. And I also use this wireless router, and I hook up to my iPad here, and the iPad actually gives me the same thing. It's a Zcam controller app. It only works on iPads though. It doesn't work on iPhones, unfortunately. But in your situation, when you get this unit, the crappy thing is, I hate to tell you this bad news, and hopefully you can talk to Kinsan about this. You actually need these button top batteries right here, and this is if you want to use the battery pack that comes with the Zcam controller. And what you do is you order these button tops, you charge them. I had to order this charger here, and there you go. There's the information on this charger if you need it. And then basically what you do is you align these little circles here. There's a circle here, with these 2 circles on the battery. So you can see they all line up now, the circles. And then there's a little lock button. So you lock the batteries in, and then you've got basically your battery pack. And then what you're going to do at that point is you're going to power, if you're at your studio, you're going to power the Zcam off. Okay? And then I'm going to have to take the, let's just pretend that I have moved the Zcam over here now. Here's my other Zcam. What you do basically is the battery adapter is on the other side of the Ethernet port here. So you take this, if you look at the battery, that's where that needs to go. So you flip this upside down, and you basically make it so that it all kind of clicks in. And then once you're done, you take these clips here and you lock them. You lock those clips on both sides. Okay? Okay, so now we have a Zcam that has the battery pack attached to the bottom. It also has a 3/8 inch. So basically, whatever settings that you just did on the Zcam controller, they get stuck in this device until you can connect to this device with an iPad or a laptop PC. So let's just pretend this is the same Zcam that I was showing you. 2.7K, 60 frames per second, 400 ISO, right? That's locked in here. So you're set with that on your shoot. So then basically all you need to do is you take the lens cap off, pretend you're taking that off, you hit this power button on the left. Now the battery pack is powering up the Zcam, and literally all you have to do is hit record, the record button here on the right, and the green lights will start blinking. When you're done recording, you hit the record button again, they'll blink again, and then they stop. Okay, that's it. It's that simple. The other thing you need to just kind of be aware of is, obviously battery life on this, not phenomenal, unless you're stopping and starting. If you're running continuously, you will drain the batteries. And if you got 128 SD cards in here, you're golden. You don't have to worry about storage too much. And then when you're done, you literally, I don't know if you guys are planning on doing all the stitching yourselves, but what you do is you connect the Zcam, and I'm turning that off, by the way, back to the Zcam controller here. And let's go open that again. Zcam controller. Okay, and then literally what you do is you go to Tools, up here, Tools, Download Manager, and it would give you the ability to select the Zcam that's connected via Ethernet cable, and you would literally just choose the destination of where you want the files to download, and then hit download, and it would download all the footage to your specific destination. And at that point, then you're free to either use WonderStitch, which is a much longer tutorial, and I wouldn't recommend using WonderStitch. We use AVP, and we also use a piece of software called Mastika VR, which is phenomenal. So hopefully that's enough to get you started. I think your main issue is just going to be getting those either a battery, either if you've got access to power on site on the bridge, and or if you've got access to some kind of battery pack that can get you 5 volts, and or you can rush order those the batteries that are required for the button top batteries that are and charger that are required for the unit that ships, the battery pack that ships with Zcam. Okay, man. Good luck.